You are listening to Drop Tent Media Network.
This is Sam Cap and Sam Dub with Sam We Are. Yay. We're here another week.
We made
now
it.
I get to Sam We Are.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean?
I love
That's
that.
cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm
So like
glad.
Sam I am, but plural. Sam we are.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you. This is, we have a special guest here today, Fawziyyah Heart. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah,
All right, I
yeah.
want to make sure I never fuck up a
It's
name.
like the actual pronunciation of it is Fawziyyah.
Fawziyyah.
Like my friends, my really close friends call me Fowls.
Fowz.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you're not
Fawziyyah.
gonna find that on like a keychain at Disney World though,
no,
right?
you don't.
Yeah.
Ever.
Never.
Ever. You get an F. You get an F.
Not even once.
Like, no, you don't even get a Faz. Nothing. You don't get anything.
That's rough. It's a beautiful name though. I
Thank
love it.
you.
It's so unique, and I love names that aren't just Sam. You know,
Hey,
Yeah,
I love
it's
my
all good.
name,
It's all
bitch.
good.
totally kidding.
Yeah, my name is it's Arabic. Yeah.
That's
It means
beautiful.
Actually, so
voice.
is ours.
Aren't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Cool. What
It
does
means
mean?
listener.
Listener.
It works for me, not
It,
for
it only
Sam
applies
Cap.
for
So
Sam Dub.
Fawziyyah Sam would be the victorious listener.
I love
like
it. We
that.
should start a band.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say it right. That's what. Wait, I fucked it up already in my mind. Fawziyyah. Fowz. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Fowz.
Yeah.
Fowz. I got that.
You don't actually have to say it. Most
I
people
wanna
just
say-
say Faz.
I want to say it right. I try.
Everybody says Faz.
I know it's your identity.
Everybody says
Yeah,
Faz.
I
But
try-
just my two close
Faz.
friends say Fowls.
Fowz.
Yeah, Fowls.
Fowz.
What do you like the best?
I don't care. I really don't care. It's just what you feel more comfortable.
No,
say.
it's
I don't
you.
care.
It's your name. I hate when people say that. I'm like, no, it's your name. You tell me.
Well,
I'll pronounce it 100
just-
times to get it
it's
right.
just- it's different because like my whole life people have always said Faz or
Right.
Fawziyyah.
Right.
But only like my mom, my best friend Ashley, and my friend Malika say my name Fowls. Only those three people say my name right.
And now it's going to be me throughout the rest of this podcast. Fowz.
It's all good, but I'm known as Faz.
Faz, yeah.
I'm known as Faz. Everybody
Right.
calls me Faz. Nobody
Yeah.
is going to be like Fowls.
They're-
That's too stretching of the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, no one's
Someone
gonna
would
say
like
that.
correct me and be like, actually, it's Fowz. You know, actually, no, did I say it right?
No, you said it right
I
that
said it
time.
right. See, I can't do it wrong.
It's all good.
Because I said it in my mind like 40 times while you were talking. I was like, Fowz. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, I try, I think names are important. I do. I believe names are important. I think we should respect people's names. I think that we should try and
Yeah.
pronounce them correctly. I think Americans will like go to every length to not pronounce someone's name correctly. And
Yeah.
it's just as easy to ask them, pronounce it correctly. And I feel like people feel embarrassed about it. Don't feel embarrassed. You know,
Yeah.
no one's going to know how to pronounce
I'm
my
just
last
used
name.
to it, I guess that's what it's
Yeah.
been like my whole life. Nobody says my name.
Fowz.
I don't
Got you,
even say
girl.
my name. Like usually when I introduce myself, I'll say Fawziyyah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's Fawziyyah because I don't got time to be teaching you how to fucking say my name.
I feel that. And I have like my last name is not super complicated, but it's Kappenstein is my full last name.
Kappenstein?
Yeah, and most
Okay.
people, they go Kappenstein, Kapperstein. For some reason, people love to throw like an R in there. I just saw someone's name and it was Hottenstein, Hottenstein, and I was like, that's my new last name. But if I was like Sam Hot, you'd be like, what? No, she's not. Like, what? But yeah, I was like, that's a cool ass that's a
Yeah,
cool Jewish last name,
Hottenstein.
Hottenstein. I was like, damn, and it was a real last name. Like I saw it, I
Yeah,
was like, damn, I want that last name. But
that's
anyway,
cool.
that was my life story on
Hottenstein.
names. Yeah. Well, Sam Dub here said that we should start a band with you called, what did you say? Victorious Listener. My brain's fucked up.
Fawziyyah Sam.
Victorious Listener.
Victorious
Yeah.
Listener.
And I was gonna say, actually, Fawz is a musician. You are in a band, right?
Yeah.
You put out an EP last year. Is that correct? A full length.
Mm-hmm.
Full
No,
length.
not full length.
Okay, I'm fucking
Three songs.
3 songs
Girl.
from an EP.
3 songs.
3 songs from an EP last year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what was the process like for you to record that album? Like, how did you know that you were ready to record the first 3 songs from your EP?
Well, it was a lot leading up to that.
Yeah.
I had recently parted ways with a band that I was working with. I'm working with them again now, but we had parted ways, and then I decided to do my own band, and that I didn't really like the way the vibe of that was going. So I just was like, I'm tired of saying that I want to release music and not doing it. And like, I didn't know what the process was like. I didn't know anything about it, but I was like, Virgo in me. This was so Virgo. I was like, I'm giving myself 4 months to put out an EP. I'm going to pick the due date and that's it. And I'm doing it. And I fucking did.
Yes.
It was hard as shit. And I didn't know what I was doing. I spent like way too much money. And, but I did it. And that day I sat down and I wrote the song, Living Here to Change. And I was like, this is going to be one of the new songs. Because I wanted to start a song from scratch that I had never worked on with anybody. And I wrote that song. And then I got with my friend Logan. Shout out to Rabbit Trap. Rabbit Trap.
I was like,
That
wait,
should be
what?
our remix name. Rabbit Trap.
Rabbit
Rabbit Trap.
I was like, I want to dance to that.
Their name is Trap Rabbit, but Logan, he's an arranger and like a songwriter and stuff like that. And he worked with me to arrange all the songs. And then I asked Chuck Treese. He so graciously said yes that he would play on my EP. And I got my friend Anam, and I got some horn players. And Chuck played drum and bass. Yeah, and then we just like did it. We just did it.
It's
we
so
just
cool.
recorded it. And then on top of releasing an EP, I decided that I had to have an EP release party. So that was like fucking crazy too, because I had to plan that. And
What was that like? Was that like a big fun party?
It was, but we had it at where was it? Bourbon and Branch, and they didn't let us know that the night of the air conditioning went out.
Oh, jeez.
So it was so. Am I allowed to curse on here?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Curse it up.
It was.
You could say
so
We're rated R, so.
Yeah.
fucking hot. It was so hot. Like I was worried about my grandfather was there, and I was
Oh.
worried about him because it was so fucking hot. And of course, the only air conditioner that was in there was turned towards the bartender.
Right.
Like, and
Oh my god.
I remember the people playing before me, Rubber, and my friend Petite Sketches played before me, and they were just like sweating. It was so bad. I felt so bad. And I actually tried to get some money back for that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I paid money for a DJ to be there afterwards for us to dance and shit. And everybody just dipped.
Yeah.
After the show, everybody just dipped because it was just too fucking hot. But they didn't give me any of my money back.
That sucks.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What?
because I don't know you like Sam does. So I just want to. So you're in a band.
Yeah,
That's
now
badass.
I'm in a band called World Town Sound System, and I also have my own stuff called Fawziyyah Heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a songwriter. Are you also a singer?
Yes.
Okay. Are you playing like? Are you doing any tambourines? Any like guitars? Like what?
I don't.
I just want
play
to know what all
anything on
you
my
do.
records. I don't play
Gotcha.
anything on my records.
Okay.
I only sing.
Okay.
I did write a horn line for one of the songs. I used to play saxophone back in the day.
That's cool.
That's amazing,
yeah.
actually, and
I
sexy.
still can play a little bit, but
That's
like,
hot. I find that really attractive.
You go like this, just
Yeah,
turn
I really do. And it's so funny because when you sat down, granted, I don't know anything about you really at this point. I said to you, I was like, your voice sounds so cool. It sounds like you should be like a singer. And you were just like, no. And you are a fucking singer. What the fuck? At that moment, you should have been like, yeah, I'm a singer. But you were like, no.
Humble.
And I was like, what? But now I know.
Yeah.
I love that humbleness. Like, I feel like you exude that, and that's like a beautiful quality of people is just to be like humble in your own skin and to know that you have greatness, but not to be shouting it out all the time. And I think Sam and I are both like, we're so great. Did you see this great thing that we did? Did you know that we have a podcast? Like, it's amazing. Like,
It is.
it is, yeah. That's definitely like we both really have that personality, which I think is a rare personality. But
Yeah.
it's
exhausting.
It's exhausting. And there's two of us now. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what I'm like. It's double trouble.
Yeah.
But no, I love people who are like humble and who just like who aren't like, oh, I am a singer. You know, like, did you know? Like, but I love that. It's like part of your personality. You just like have like a very chill demeanor.
I'm pretty chill when I am.
That look away. You're like, except when I'm not. Like, I was like to a dark place in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying earlier, we were saying like, I'm Jewish, I'm neurotic, you're married to a Jewish man, and so you're like, we get a little neurotic, and you feel like you vibe with that Jewish culture aspect.
I do. I'm very like in my head and worried all the fucking time about nothing.
Me too.
Really.
Me too.
Just worried. Just like, oh God, the carry dropped on the floor. What am I gonna like? I'm just like, I can't. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I mean, as a Jew, it's just part of our body.
It's just like worked upness.
Yeah.
Like, just be like,
for no reason.
Like,
yeah. I like wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, I forgot to do a thing, you know?
Yeah. I've done that too. I'm like, oh my God, I left a piece of paper on my desk. It might have someone's social security number. Someone broke into the building. They stole the piece of paper. They opened up 5 credit cards. This guy is now $67,000 in debt. He's losing his house. His wife is leaving him. His children are now dropped out of college because they cannot afford it. And then he gets hit by a car. That's my brain. Welcome.
Yeah.
How do I have friends? I don't know.
I know.
Damn.
Is that how you guys are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 100% the same way. And I
always pick the most traumatic ending to like,
Yeah.
It's always the most traumatic.
Do you like ruin things for yourself like completely before they even happen? You're like, well, I fucking completely ruined that now.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing that I've grown to be able to do, and which I guess is why I can kind of like laugh about it now, is the fact that I know how to like redirect my thoughts when they start spiraling out of control. Like,
Tell us how.
Tell us what you do. That was deep.
Please.
well, I mean,
Make it into a pamphlet, preferably.
I've read some books and I've watched some YouTube channels.
Well, what do you do? Like, how would you redirect your thoughts? Because I'm fascinated.
I have a lot
that
of things that
process as
I
well.
do. I'm very Virgo about training my thoughts. I have this bracelet that I wear. It's actually a friendship bracelet. Shout out to Sunny Shine, my love.
Your BFF.
Yeah.
I feel like I know a cat with that same name. Not like a
Sunny
cool
Shine?
cat, like an actual cat, you know, like a meow meow. Sunny Shine. I'm sorry, I know a cat with that name.
Oh, you know a cat?
I know an actual cat.
I was like, do you want to name your cat Sunny Shine? What are you saying?
No, I know a cat with that. Not like a cool cat. Again, just a rare cat.
Just a regular cat.
I know a cat. When you said that, I was like, the cat? I was like, do you know that cat too?
My best friend Sunny Shine, she's also a musician.
Awesome.
Of, Sunny Shine music. But yeah, I have this bracelet. So what I do is if I get a negative thought and I'm on it for like longer than maybe 30 seconds to a minute, I switch the bracelet to the other hand. And I've noticed ever since that I even started switching the bracelet, because the first couple of days was like, I was switching it maybe like 6-7 times a day when I noticed myself like spiraling out. And after doing it for maybe 4 days, I noticed that I switch it maybe once a day now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know. I just made myself. Awareness is a motherfucker.
It is.
Like, it's a motherfucker. If you're just aware of shit, it just it makes things a lot easier.
Like mindfulness, right?
Yeah, mindfulness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read this book called The Secret.
Yes.
Me too. Yeah.
Yes.
So it talks about like how your thoughts kind of portray your life. Like you thought your way into where you are, right? Like we all thought our way to being in this room right now.
Yeah.
True.
And,
yeah.
It pretty much is like you can think your way to whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
I love that.
That's
Yeah,
just
me
what
too.
I believe
I'm literally trying to do. Like I read that book and I'm like, I'm gonna try to do that, and I've been doing all right at it.
Hell yeah.
I've been doing okay at it, and I'm like, I don't really have a religion or anything like that, but I do believe in a power of myself and a power of my mind.
Love that.
It's like, you know.
Me too. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you can either live your life sad or happy. Because you're going to live it either way.
Yeah.
So you might as well try to be fucking happy when you can.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I feel like that applies to like goals and stuff too, because there's so much that we all want to do, and the one thing keeping us back half the time is ourselves, because we're like, oh, well, that's gonna take so long. Like, I can't go back to school at 35 because when I graduate I'll be 40. But like,
shut it down before it even starts.
Yes, like something that my best friend actually always says to me that like started to stick with me. She would always just say like, why not? Time's passing either way. Yeah. So in 4 years' time, you can either be without that degree or whatever your goal may be, or you can still be 39 and not have it. Like, what are you going to decide?
Yeah. And people's brains always go to the negative. They think if they're trying to start a new project, well, what if I don't succeed? And we never think of, well, what if I do succeed?
Right.
You know, we always go to, well, this is going to be hard. I don't want to start this new business, this new EP, this new podcast, whatever you're doing. You go, what if it fails? What if no one listens? Well, what if it succeeds and everyone listens, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
We never think about that positive future. I mean, if you're thinking about it, obviously. But I think it's natural for us to think about the negative first.
It's easier.
It's easier
It's
too.
a lot easier to think about the negative.
It's easier to just not do it too.
Yeah, and right, and that holds you back. I think that with like starting businesses or projects, there's always this level of, well, I want it to be perfect. I want everything to be ready. I want it all to be right. Well, it's never all going to be ready, perfect, and right. So you might as well just start the damn project. Never. Yeah, right. I mean, nothing you ever do is going to be perfect at the beginning. So that's what's going to hold you back. You know, people will sometimes say this like, oh, well, I don't want to release it yet because I'm a perfectionist. You're not a perfectionist. You're actually scared. Yeah. That's what's happening. You're not, you know, you want to attain perfection and that's not attainable. And so then you're just scared of not achieving that perfection, which is not even something that's possible. So the minute we wipe perfection out of our minds, I think we'll all be a lot happier. There's no such thing as that. But yeah, I agree. And our minds are such a powerful tool. And if we can harness that power, you know, we can really use it to benefit our lives. And I think about it as like this, there's all these like quote, you know, I'm into all these inspirational quotes and shit, not positivity, as we had a guest one time who was like, don't be toxically positive, which we're not going to be toxically positive, but I like to be, you know, read inspiration and stuff like that. And like something that I always say is like, okay, if you are always thinking of a yellow car, you're always going to see a yellow car. You know, so meaning if you're always thinking about the negative, you're always thinking about the bad stuff, you're always going to see the bad stuff in life. If you're thinking about the positive, you're going to more often see the positive in life. You know, and all of that I think leads into like the abundance mindset, which is all part of that sort of like mindfulness.
You also spiral into good thoughts.
Ooh, go on.
You don't always have to spiral into bad thoughts. You can spiral into good thoughts and like just come up with like mad ideas in a moment because you're just in the flow, I guess.
Yeah. You know? I love that. And that's that's taking that energy that you have and turning it over, right? Because I feel like something that I get very nervous when I am performing. Like, so Fawz and I, we know each other from, we took a stand-up comedy class in 2019.
I had so much fun doing that.
You were, I'm sorry, you were the funniest person in the class.
I wasn't.
Literally, I'm not just saying that. I'm not saying that.
I don't believe that.
You were always so funny on stage. I'm not just saying. I wouldn't like.
No, I know. I know. I let some of my friends listen to the recordings.
You're funny as hell, and you're very natural, and you have this presence on stage that people just like want to relate to, and I do relate to, you know, and like your personality shines, and you have just this like effortlessness, you know, like in a good way.
I never did it again.
I wish you would. I invited you. I'm like, all right, here's all these events, here's all this stuff.
Yeah, you're planning a bunch. You should hop on one of those.
I'm trying to get
me and my friend Gary. We were going to the Saints.
Yeah. What was it? Was it called the John? Wait, what was
something
it?
John? The comedy.
The Comedy John, right? Our producer shit. Yeah, Comedy John. Yeah, Monday nights at the Saint. Yeah.
And I said that I was going to go up there one day, and I just never did. And the fucked up thing is I still jot down jokes. And I'm like,
it's cool.
I don't know. I should. I want to, but if for some reason, nobody knows this, but the first time I went up on that stage, I almost had a panic attack.
That's what I was about to say. Is I did have a panic attack every time we were in class. If you thought I was like weird or quiet or rude, I just was a full-blown panic attack. And I look back, I'm like, those people must have thought I was a fucking weirdo because I was so in my head.
Cool as shit. I thought you were so funny. You were always funny.
I was so in my head that like I was like, I don't know. I got up on stage and I was like, like just breathing so deeply and hyperventilating. And like, you know, I still like panic. It's weird because I stopped sort of having panic attacks before performing, you know, when I was doing it really regularly. And then COVID hit and I didn't perform like live for 5 months or whatever. And now I get so nervous again. And I feel, and I'm like, if I'm not practiced or prepared, I start to feel the panic just like uncontrollably set in, and it's so scary.
See, my thing was like, I'm used to performing. I've been performing since I was 6 years old. But I've always had my voice as my shield. Yeah. Like I just open my mouth and people are like, oh, word, this bitch can actually sing. Right. But on stage, being a comedian, I didn't have that at all, and that was fucking nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? What? You could do musical comedy, musical improv, you know, people, that's like a whole genre of comedy.
When they sing and shit?
Where they say, and it doesn't have to be your whole shtick, right? But it could be a part of your shtick, you know, where you sort of whip out a song, you know? And like that
would be cool.
That would be so cool. Like, what if you wrote like a comedic, you know, some kind of comedic.
Well, I'm actually I'm starting to write short stories. I just started writing my first one.
Congratulations.
I just bought a new notebook for it.
Yay! Yes, new notebooks.
So like maybe I could make it a comedy or
that is
something.
so cool.
Know. I'm still outlining the story. I'm not that
You're so creative. Stop being so humble. You're so creative. That's amazing.
I just be doing stuff. That's doing stuff.
Amazing. No, I mean, it's about taking that energy. And look, so many people have the creative energy, but again, just the fear of doing the project holds them back, and the fear of not being perfect, not being good enough, you know, and it stops them from starting. So when I see people who are both creative and are doing all of the things, it's amazing to see, because not everyone is doing both. And it's cool to see you do so many different types of projects, and to see where else your creative energies can cross into, which I think is really cool. Yeah. I'm telling you, musical comedy, it's going to be your thing. I don't know. I'm just saying, you started it here. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, yes.
Yeah, but that would be cool. But you were so funny and so talented. But I think I was going back to that's where we met, and the panic that set in. And at that time, I had this awesome therapist, and she would sort of say, all right, well, you know, you're feeling all of this nervousness, and you're calling it a panic attack. She's like, I'm not calling it a panic attack. She's like, that's what you said. I was like, okay, I'm listening. Go on. She's like, so, you know, you're feeling all of this adrenaline. And she's like, you could say that it's anxiety, or you could say that it's adrenaline. You know, you're feeling nervousness, your heart's racing, right? And so you're excited, but in your mind, you're saying that you're nervous. And so that's then bringing you down. She's like, so look, I'm not telling you you're having a panic attack. She's like, that's a language that you've used, but I'm telling you, maybe try to reframe the way you think of that energy. And so instead of saying it's anxiety, say it's adrenaline, and use it to fuel you. And
that's cool.
Yeah. And so I would just say it's anxiety, not adrenaline. It's anxiety, not adrenaline. And I just repeat it to myself, and I would think, okay, instead of feeling the fear.
You just said it was anxiety, not adrenaline.
You meant adrenaline,
oh, fuck me. Can we cut that? Jesse?
Your own mind was like.
Can you cut that? Oh my God, no, that's right. I am feeling really anxious the past 2 days. That's why. Yeah. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, obviously I'm not perfect. I don't have it all figured out.
I just thought it was funny that you were trying to like do the opposite, and then you said what you were trying to like make a point about. It was hilarious.
Now I'm like sweaty. I'm like,
I was like, should I say something? I was like, it's been too long.
That's not what you were saying.
But then you said it. I was like, all right,
I call her out. I got to.
This is not getting cut out. Damn it. All right. Well, anyway, moving right along. It's adrenaline, not anxiety, right?
Right.
Is that the right way?
That is a better way of thinking about it, because it feels overwhelming when you feel like that. It feels like you're about to die.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the middle of like having a conversation or some shit, you feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you do have to like find tricks and stuff like that to retrain, because nobody wants to go through that. And only you, like, I read this quote, speaking of positive quotes.
I love it, yeah.
But it was like, only you can save yourself. Nobody's coming to save you, girl.
So true.
Like, only you can save yourself.
Yep.
Nobody's coming to save you.
100%.
Ain't nobody coming to save you, boo.
Right.
So you gotta, like, it's just training your mind and telling it that everything is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's not easy. You know, and it's something that like it takes years of therapy. It takes years of work. It takes hard effort. It's not something that you can do off the bat. And I think that I don't know. I've always struggled with. I still struggle with it. You know, I've been kind of anxious the past few days, and I've been trying to, you know, do my deep breathing. I'm like
something in retrograde right now.
Yeah, Mercury. I think
is it? Yeah, I was
she's,
like, I know something.
Really?
Yeah, she's fucking us up.
They say not to make any like rash decisions right now. And the new moon is tonight.
That's true. And it's a black moon or a dark moon or something.
I don't know.
It's called some kind of.
I don't know any of this.
Spooky moon or something.
I don't know any of this.
There's some. Oh, are you not into the moon? Do you hate the moon?
She
fucking hates the moon.
Do you hate the stars?
The goddamn moon again. It's out. Comes out every fucking night. Fucking moon. Yes, I hate the moon. No, I just don't pay attention that hard. Yeah. I do really vibe with my moon sign though, which is Scorpio.
Okay.
Ooh, that's my rising sign.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm a Scorpio rising.
My husband's a Scorpio too, and he's not a Scorpio at all.
No,
I don't know
not.
what he is. He's not a Scorpio.
I don't really know that much about Scorpio, but I know that's where my like feistiness comes.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, my husband is not feisty whatsoever.
No.
He's the opposite. He's like a kitten. I tell him, I'm like, if I could ever like pick an animal that is you, it would be a kitten that was like just born. like just born. Like coming out, and it's just like its little paws going. It's like that's my husband as an animal. Meanwhile, I'm a fucking great white shark.
Yeah.
And I'll eat that kitten.
You'll eat anything that stands in your way.
Exactly. Really, like he's chill. He's really chill. He's the turtle and I'm the rainstorm. That's what our therapist tells us.
What is that? So
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like our communication styles. He's the turtle. He goes in the shell, and I'm like, run.
You're everywhere.
Me.
Your emotions are everywhere, raining down on him, and he's just like in his shell. Like I don't want to.
But we both have to like change. Like he has to come out of his shell. I gotta chill the fuck out, and we just balance each other out.
Yeah. That's the hard thing. I mean, communication, I think, is one of the most difficult things. Like, I've never,
especially like with the cultural difference. Like, the way sometimes the way he talks, I understand it differently because I'm black.
Yeah,
and we just don't be saying shit like that sometimes.
Like what?
Or in that way. Nah. It's just like little things. Yeah. It's just like some things are fucking fighting words, and he doesn't understand them as fighting words, and I completely understand them as fighting words.
Yeah.
And not that we be fighting, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, what you say? Like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
So it's just understanding that he just might not understand it that way, and I can't take offense to it, and I gotta chill the fuck out.
And he's Jewish, so like Jewish people are really blunt too. So like we have and the way that we are in arguments is really jarring to a lot of people. I found this too, because like every time I am just either work or dating or whatever, and people just like sometimes don't know how to take that bluntness that comes from. I find it to be like a Jewish thing, also from the city, so that kind of plays into my bluntness. But I think that people just often see it as like aggression or like as antagonistic or attacking them, and I'm like, no, I'm just these are the facts, you know. I'm not we're not even bringing emotions into it now. These are just the facts. Thing, like, and it's hard. I think it's hard to take that. I don't know if he's the same way.
He's kind of the same way when you get him to a point, but he's not aggressive. He's not aggressive about it.
That's because he's not a woman. If he was a woman,
if he was a woman, I was like, he might be on some other shit, but he's a dude. He's pretty fucking chill. You gotta push his buttons to like make him do anything like that.
Oh, he's like a waspy Jew. Is that what you mean?
What does that mean?
Wasps like don't talk about. Does he like not want to talk about stuff? Is he like?
Yeah.
That's weird. See, Jews are not normally like. Is he full Jewish?
Not like.
Is he a full Jew?
Waspy. I feel like that. I don't know what that means, so I don't want to say yes.
No, it's okay. That was just me throwing shade.
Like white Anglo-Saxon, is that?
Yeah. People who are just sort of like Protestant. No, we don't talk about.
No.
Is that not like
It's not like that.
Protestant,
okay.
White Anglo-Saxon.
No,
Protestant.
it's not like that. He's just a dude. He don't feel like fucking talking about shit.
He doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to do that. That's all. And I'm the most emotional being you could ever come across. So it's just like learning to balance that.
Yeah. It is so hard. It is really hard dealing with other people's emotions and energies. And I'm like not a great communicator. I've spent years in therapy learning how to communicate better with people, because I feel like I can often just be like, fuck this, I'm done. You know, like I don't even want to, or I just get mad or aggressive or whatever. I'm so angry. I'm not. But yeah, and I think it's just like that's one of the most difficult things.
Yeah.
Do you and Wes, like, y'all, what's up? Y'all fight? How you doing?
I'm not even exaggerating. I think in 10 years that we've been together, I think I've heard him raise his voice once.
Wow.
I
And
like Wes.
I don't think we've ever really fought.
That's cool.
Wow, I like that. I'm
I don't know.
jealous. I
He's
like that.
just like, even, and there were times where like the Gemini in me is like, fuck that. I want to fight. Like, say some shit, you know? I'm like,
you
ready
love
to go.
fight more than I do,
like
Sam.
Mortal Kombat, like, fight him. And he just like fight, finish him,
KO.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so,
Final blow.
Yeah, and he just like he'd be like, I'm not gonna be offended by anything you say right now because I know you're angry and I know you don't mean it. So I'll talk to you later when you've calmed down.
That makes me even angrier.
It used to. It used to. I mean, we just don't. I don't know. He's just my person. We're like a puzzle piece and it just fits. I don't know.
I feel like learning what to do when you're triggered, because that triggers me.
Yeah.
Like when he's like, I don't want to do this right now. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
No, we have to talk. We have to fix this.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
And like learning to be like, okay, you want to not do this right now? That's fine. Because I probably need to go chill the fuck out anyway.
Yes. It's something that's taken me years to learn that because I had that problem with my ex where I would be like, no, we have to talk about this right the fuck now.
And you can't.
And he would be like, and he just couldn't, and he was an idiot, but he just like couldn't process, you know, his emotions. But like, I feel that way sometimes now. Like if I get frustrated at my boyfriend, he's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, just give me like 1 minute. I'm like, I just need like 60 seconds. I just need to like
to like
talk
get it
to
together.
myself. Yeah, I just want to make sure. I just want to remind myself, cool, everything's cool. He's not my evil ex-boyfriend. Don't be evil to him. Check in with yourself. You know, I give myself like a little check-in, breathe, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Here's why I said this thing. Here's why you said this thing. Let's just talk about it. And I think you're just giving myself like 1 minute before I launch into conversation. It, I think, prevents me from launching into an argument as opposed to like a productive conversation. And I think, you know, with certain people, it can be like an avoidance technique. Like, it doesn't sound like with Wes, it's an avoidance technique. With my ex, it was, you know, he would walk away from the conversation and never want to bring it back up again. You know, I think it's like, it can be played the right way. You know, if I just need like 60 seconds and then I'm back in the convo, like that's an okay amount.
I'll end up just like fighting with myself. Like, I'll just like, I'm the only one yelling and he's just like sitting there playing Xbox and he's just like, but then I always, I apologize a lot because he deserves an apology sometimes because I'll just like go off on him real quick, like something little. I'm like, ah, like come home from work, like had a bad day, but I apologize. Like I call myself out and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like I raised my voice at you. And then, like, that's it. That's it. But, like, it's always me. It's always just me that's, like, apologizing. But I'm not one of those people. And I tell Sam all the time, I'm like, you apologize too much. I tell people all the time that they apologize too much, especially women, because we always apologize for things that are not our fault. But I know that he deserves an apology because I did yell for no reason. Like, I did snap at him. Like, he didn't say anything. Yeah. So I apologize. And I think that's, like, something that a lot of people just don't do. Like they'd rather just like hold a grudge and like carry it over into the next day. Like they're so fuming.
Too. I'm like, if I freaked out and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then it's squashed, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you move on. You're like, what do you want for dinner?
Usually everything is squashed after like things just cool out.
Yeah.
Right? You just need to give it time to cool out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the trick, I feel like.
Yeah.
But there's people that like hold on to that and they like almost thrive from it. Like they're like, like they like being mad almost.
I think some people do like being mad. Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot because as anyone who's friends with me on Facebook knows, I do not get along with my roommate. And I never get along with roommates. It's a me thing. Don't even. It's like whatever. It's fine. Like I get it. You know, I'm just like I think it's just hard living with people. No one wants to live with anyone. You know, I've been. You know, how do I explain this? I said, cut all of that us out. Damn it. No, it's hard. I mean, whenever I have found roommates, it's sort of like last minute, you know, in a rush, like desperate situation. It's not like I think people think that when you have a roommate, it's like a choice. Like, I'm not living with strangers from the internet for fun, you know?
Right.
Like, obviously, that's not my life's passion, is having strangers hear me have sex, you know? Like, I don't want that. I just can't afford to live on my own, obviously. Like, that shouldn't have to be stated, but people seem to never, like, understand that concept.
Yeah, Philly is fucking expensive. So
yeah, I work in social services. Hello.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't work in the private sector here. Right. But so people, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But so it's always hard. I you know, I don't want to be living with roommates, of course. But I've had 8 roommates in the past, like, 2 years.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I've gotten along with half of them. Half of them I didn't. Those are decent
Those
odds.
aren't bad odds.
Right.
Yeah, it makes me feel like when I think about the ones I don't get along with, I'm like, ooh, it's a lot. But then I think about, I did get along with 4 of them, you know, and like had no problem with them. And so
I've had roommates I didn't get along with.
yeah.
I had a roommate when I first turned 18. I was just desperate to get out of my hometown.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was so desperate to get out of my hometown that one of my girlfriends from high school married her like high school boyfriend who joined the Air Force. So he like got sent off somewhere and she was like, I want to go with him. So they got married so she could go too.
Yeah.
I was so desperate to leave. I went and lived with this couple, right? In their house. And I don't know why the fuck I thought that was a good idea to live with like newlyweds.
Oh my God.
But it was so weird. They would like make me keep my stuff like separate from their stuff in like the cabinets and stuff. They'd be like, I can't see my food because your food is in front of it. And I would be like, I'm sorry, what? Like on the fridge, they'd be like, you can have this corner of the fridge. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, who's monitoring the fridge? Like,
right.
I mean, I understand you don't eat my stuff. I won't eat your stuff. But, like, you're giving me a drawer.
Right.
Like, what? It was so weird.
They're like, you have this 1 4x4-inch space. That's all
Yeah.
you could put a can of milk there.
They were crazy. And they were like, did you drink some of my milk? I'm like, no, I didn't fucking have your milk. Like, they were insane. So, I couldn't imagine, like, what it would be like in the city.
Yeah, living with roommates is so difficult. And like, I think people always act like, and I always joke, yeah, I don't get along with roommates. Yeah, I don't. But I mean, is it my fault or is it just like the weirdness of yeah, it's the weirdest of living with a roommate. I mean, this person like that I'm living with now, I found her in April of 2020, which was first month into the pandemic when I had to figure out where the fuck I was living. Right. And I was either finding a roommate or having nowhere to live. So like, I was lucky to find someone who would, you know, do a virtual tour because that was before anyone wanted to even be around anyone else at all. And even with, you know, there were no masks available back then, right? So like no one was doing in person. Like I was lucky to even find this person who would sign a lease with me. Otherwise, I literally have no idea where I would have lived. And that would have been such a hard and stressful thing to try to be like, okay, April 2020, where am I going to start looking at places or like moving? I wasn't working. I didn't have money. You know, like who had money to move in the middle of a pandemic, right? So that was my sad story. It's okay, you guys. It's fine. I'm going to bring the room back up by talking smack on my roommate. But yeah, and so, you know, look, whatever. She's just, you know, she just was a person, you know, to fill the spot. It's kind of like going on Tinder and being like, okay, swipe right, let's move in together for a year, you know? Yeah. It's like that level of crazy, you know? But the first like day that she was in my apartment, she was like, yeah, just let you know, I'm an alien abductee and I'm psychic.
Why haven't you invited me over?
She is not fun. Everyone thinks she's fun. She is not fucking fun.
Yeah, but I just want to, I need to investigate further.
Yeah.
She's a psychic?
She's an alien of the what?
An alien abductee?
She thinks she's an alien abductee. Wait.
Abductee.
Yeah. And the funnier part about that is like, she's like, yeah, I don't actually have a memory of it. But once I was in my psychic circle and they told me that I was abducted by aliens. And so now I know that that's what happened.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like, we are not living on the same planet. You know what I'm saying?
That's your roommate?
That's my roommate.
Damn.
And, right? Right?
That's the worst one. You got the worst one.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, I guess that's not that bad. Was she like read cards and shit?
No, she has a psychic circle that she pays money for.
Can I come?
That trust me, they're not doing anything in there.
You should tell her that they can do it in your apartment.
You should invite her on a podcast, the Psychic Circle.
They're all over. They're all over the country, and I hear them, and they're like these women basically just tell her the weather. I swear, like, like I don't. They're
Wait,
not
are they like Karen from Mean Girls? And they're like, my boobs say there's a 70% chance it's already raining.
She and I were going back and forth about like the heat, the AC, the heat, the AC. You know, what are we gonna do? It's changing. The weather is changing. You know, that whole conundrum that everyone has with everyone else. And she was like very intent on leaving the AC on, and then I overheard in her psychic circle, they were like, just to let everyone know, the weather's going to drop down to 46 this Saturday. And then like 10 minutes later, she texts me. She's like, maybe you're right. Maybe we could turn the heat on. I was like, I didn't say turn the heat on. Let's just turn the AC off, you know? Like,
it's that cheap weather. You don't got to have anything on.
I know. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, let's just open a window. Yeah. Like, we don't need to turn anything on. Like, it's back and forth, up and down, up and down. But she's like, anyway. I could go on about my hatred of this woman for a very long time.
What if she's listening?
She's not listening.
How do you know?
Hopefully she is listening. Hopefully she is listening. But yeah, I guess my point about this is it's really hard living with a roommate. It's really stressful, especially during COVID times because we're both working from home. Like, for example, yesterday at 9 a.m, she brought over a first date to have BDSM impact play at 9 a.m. while I had meetings all day long.
What's impact play?
Like hitting. Oh. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
So wait, like with a whip? So you can hear the whip?
I can hear like this and then like, yip, yip, yip. Like, I'm like, I have a call with a nun at 10 a.m. You need to shut the fuck up. Like, I have to call a nun, okay? And, like, we both work from home. Like, she was supposed to be working, And so
She was working.
Yeah, something was being worked, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that, where it's really difficult. I mean, I'm trying to work and do a job. I have 2 jobs, I have people I have to call. I have stuff I have to do. Like, I have like unsexy COVID calls that I'm a part of. Like they're like, there have been 6 total cases in shelters this week and no new deaths. And then it's like, yep. I'm like, so But anyway, to end this conversation about my hatred of this cunt is just for me to say.
Damn.
Just for me to say. I try and remind myself of this, that anger is like drinking a poison and waiting for the other person to die. And I just needed to remind myself of that right now.
You only hurt yourself with that stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true. Anger is. It's just like drinking a poison and going, I hope you die. Oh, you're only killing yourself here.
Yeah.
And you're only hurting your own heart. And so I just have to. So I'm going to keep telling myself that today.
Yeah. Good job.
Thanks. I'm doing great over here, as you can tell. Yeah, but it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been married for a while?
5 years.
Okay, so you haven't had roommate trouble in a while.
No.
But you're like, all right, do the dishes, babe.
I haven't had a lot of roommates. Like.
Okay, fancy.
No,
I'm
not
just
even
kidding.
that.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I'm
if
sorry.
you consider my grandpapa fucking I lived with him when I went to Temple.
Cool.
And that shit was like hell. It was like hell. It was hell. I love my grandpa.
Yeah.
I love him. He is a great man. But he is not someone that you want to live with when you're like fucking 23.
Yeah, for sure.
In your fucking years. Like, come on.
Right?
That is not the place to be. And then I think it had got bad one time and I moved in with this girl that I was working with at a restaurant. And it was cool, but I was like, it wasn't like the way the house wasn't really up to my standard. I'm super Virgo with my house. My house is cute.
Gotcha.
Like, and it wasn't, after a while I was just like, this is not the type of environment I want to live in. It's too fucking dark in here, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is depressing. So I think I moved back in with my grandpa.
Aw. Number one roommate.
Yeah. And then me and Dean met, and then we got an apartment together. And
nice.
we've been together ever since then.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's cute.
Yeah.
are you from Philly originally? Where are you from?
I'm from Philly.
You are?
Yeah.
Did I know this? Where are you? Like, what part of Philly? Where did you go to
Southwest.
school?
I'm from like all
Tell
over. Like,
me.
honestly,
Tell me
I
your
lived. I lived like on 6th and Girard
Okay.
with my grandpa for like some years, and then I
Nice.
moved to Southwest where I went to grade school at Most Blessed Sacrament. Shout out to MBS. And then when I went to high school, I lived in Overbrook with my mom.
Okay.
And then I moved, like, starting college when I went back to Temple, because I went to Immaculata for a couple years. And when I transferred to Temple, I moved to my grandpa's back on 6th and Girard because he
Nice.
lived not too far from Temple.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I claim Southwest.
Okay.
I claim Southwest. That's
Okay.
where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Where
Yeah.
did you go to high school in Philly? Did you go to public school?
No, I went to Archbishop Pendergast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
in
why you're
Drexel
fancy.
Hill.
I like that. Go on.
I went to a Catholic school.
God.
I've been in Catholic school my whole life.
We won't talk about it. Don't worry.
No. It's no.
You said no religion.
It's
no
all
religion.
good. It's all good.
No,
No, but
I get you.
I literally went. My grandma, she owned a daycare at a
Aw.
church. It
Aw.
was Most Blessed Sacrament. R.I.P. Graham. She just passed away.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah. It's all good. I
Aw.
don't talk about that.
Move on.
Yeah. But yeah. Fuck, I forgot where I was going.
So you went to high school, Archbishop, Catholic school your whole life?
Yeah, my whole life.
Okay.
She had a daycare, so that was a Catholic daycare.
Okay.
Then I went to the Catholic grade school. Then I went to the Catholic high school.
Okay.
Then I went to Immaculata University, which is a Catholic college.
Okay.
And that got too expensive, and that's when I got my life together and transferred to Temple and became a real person. It's like, no, but
Yeah.
Catholic school was good to me, man. Like,
Cool.
I feel like I got a pretty good education out of it.
Yeah.
I turned out all right.
I mean, yeah, I'm from Philly and I went to public school, and anyone I know who's from Philly who went to Catholic school, I'm like, you were better off, trust me. Like, and obviously as a Jew, I only had Jewish school or public school or whatever, and Jewish school is different than Catholic school, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of my assumption, but I feel like it's smaller and more religious, and they're just, you have to study Hebrew.
Catholic school is pretty fucking
It's
religious,
yeah.
man.
And
We have theology class.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and we gotta go to church. I think they made us go to church once a week.
Yeah.
And like, it was a lot.
It's a lot.
And
I
you gotta
know.
pray over every fucking thing.
Everything.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how Jews are like
it's
that
the same.
too. Yeah.
You're right. It's the same because they have to do like the language. They have to do all of the historical studies. And I already went to Hebrew school. I already did that shit. My parents weren't affording any, private school or anything anyway. But we went, we went through all public school, and whew, let me tell you, Northeast High School.
What school did you go to?
I went to Northeast for high school. It's the biggest public high school in Philadelphia. It's got over 4,000 students.
Whoa.
Huge
shit.
school, massive.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was kind of hard.
How many did you graduate with?
1,000.
Oh, wow. So did
Wow.
my husband. He went to North Penn.
Okay.
And I graduated with like 110.
Where did you go? Are you from Philly?
No.
Where are you from?
Lebanon County,
fuck is
Myerstown,
that?
Lebanon, Hershey,
All right.
Harrisburg. Where the Amish people are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My high school is called Eastern Lebanon County, and it is literally in a cornfield. Like, you have to drive through the cornfield to get there.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I learned. We had a Future Farmers of America program.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I wasn't in it, but that's what we
I
endorsed.
want to learn how to farm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I really like plants and stuff, and my mom does like landscaping and all that type of stuff. I
That's
really
cool.
love plants, but as an adult, I'm learning that I love them.
Yeah.
Same.
Like, I got so many plants in my house, and
Me
I
too.
take really
Same.
really good care of them. And like, I know that that's something I got from my mom because she's really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any outdoor space where you live with your husband where you could?
No, like we
Yeah.
have, like we bought our
Philly.
house like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and we rent the downstairs out so
Okay.
they have access to the backyard, which
Gotcha.
is like still really small.
Yeah.
But we have like our front porch, but we don't use it because that's where we put our trash at. Like, so
Yeah.
it's just like a little bent. It's so shitty out there, actually. I just ignore it and I act like it doesn't exist, and then the rest of my house looks really cute.
Yeah.
Because it just always gets junky. That's where we put our trash at. So
Yeah.
it's like nothing
Yeah.
can really go here.
Wait, what part of the city do you live in now?
I live around the corner.
Oh,
from
that's
here.
right. That's right.
In Fishtown.
Yeah,
like
that.
North Philly. They're calling it Norris Square.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck I live.
I was
now.
like, this is North
I
Philly,
live in
right?
Philadelphia. I don't fucking know. It's North Philly.
This is North Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every time they develop a new North Philly neighborhood, they're like, this is
Yeah,
or whatever. You know, it's always a new little cutesy name that the developers try to stick in there, right?
But some people, they don't know where I be talking about, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I know. It's a all over Philly thing, and I feel like I went to middle school at Masterman, so that's like down.
Oh, my uncle went to Masterman.
Aww.
How old are you?
I'm 29. I'll turn 30 in a few months.
No, you wouldn't know him. I'm
Younger, older.
I'm 30. Am I 32? I'm 32. So Adam is probably like 30.
Okay. Oh, we might have.
Adam Chandler.
I know Adam.
You know Adam? That's my boo. That's my uncle.
I know Adam.
He fucking crazy as shit.
Adam went to Pitt too. I went to Pitt.
Yeah, he went to Pitt.
We saw each other at Pitt. We would like chill and
What
hang
the
out
fuck
together.
is happening?
That's my uncle.
I used to have such a crush on him. He's tall.
He's cute as shit.
tall. Yeah,
he's so
cute.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
cute. He
I always
is
had,
cute.
I
He
liked
get on
all
my
the
fucking
boys.
nerves, though.
Oh my god,
That's
so,
my mom's dad. That's his son.
Oh my God.
He always clown me because I'm older than him and he's my uncle.
Yeah. That is so funny.
Ain't that crazy?
That is the funniest thing ever.
That's wild.
We're gonna
You
send
know
him a
Adam.
message after this.
Oh, that's funny. I love Adam.
That is so funny. That's such a Philly like connection,
Yeah,
you know. That's what
definitely.
they say, like Philly's big, but I feel like when you're from here, it's kind of like you're like, oh, you know that person, you know.
Yeah. Because
No,
I'm like,
for real.
Masterman is small as shit. I'm like, you might
Masterman is
know
small.
him.
Yeah, and that's a difference because Masterman is like, it's a public school, but you have to apply to get in. It's a magnet school, and so they only have 200 kids in the middle school, and then in each grade, and then 100 kids in the high school for each grade. They cut it in half. And so you have to get like straight A's and write like killer essays and do all of the extracurriculars. And if you got like one A- or a B, you would not get into the high school.
What?
Wow.
I think that's where my anxiety started, you know, like that place I feel like was just a bunch of little kids on like anti-anxiety, anti-depression, and ADHD medicine to get them through their schooling because it was very intense. And it was I'm so grateful for my education there because it was a fantastic opportunity. I learned so much while I was there, even as a little kid. And I learned more at middle school than I ever did in high school. Northeast was a horrible crap fire of school. I mean, I literally learned nothing. I joke about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to cut class every day and we smoked pot and we just, you know, we got drunk or whatever. We cut class and got Burger King, but
And there was just so many of you. They like, yeah.
And because
didn't even notice.
Yeah.
and because it was the level of what they were teaching us was just like different than what I had learned at Masterman. Yeah, go for it.
I went to high school on a short bus that had to drive around for like 40 minutes just to fill it. Okay, so my high school was like, we need more people just to get funding. So like it was small and it was just everyone knew everyone. You would do one thing the night before and everyone would know about it the next day.
Yeah, and I feel like when I was in middle school, that like that tininess of the school created a lot of like bullying, you know, which I feel like people talk about when they're from smaller schools is all this bullying. And like at Northeast High School, nobody bullied anyone because like nobody gave a shit, and everyone had like real life problems that they were just like dealing with, that they were like, I don't have time to bully you. Like I've got to go to work and like pick up my sister and like you know, like I gotta go grocery shopping for my mom. Like I have shit to do. I don't have time to like pick on you. Like I don't know, I just feel like people were kind of busy with real life shit, and like when you people in my middle school were super mean, and so I feel like that's just like what you kind of get from like a smaller school, because you're right, everyone knows everything. There's nothing else to focus on, you know. When there's 1,000 kids on your grade, you can't focus on one.
No, you got so much more like opportunity though for like friends. Like I just got like these fucking duds and they all sucked, and I'm like, well, this is what I gotta pick one of them, you know.
That's true. I did have opportunity for friends, but were they quality opportunities? I don't know. You know, like
I got one friend from grade school, Ashley.
Aw.
Yeah, that's my one friend.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's important. It is. I think it's important to hold on to those people that you know from back in the days. You know, you don't need friends with everyone, but you can have one or two from your
I feel
circle.
like there's people that like they are still like best friends with like 10 different people from high school, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
don't know how people do that.
Yeah, no.
They're afraid of change, I think. I see people from my high school group and they all still kick it, and I'm like, do you guys never want to evolve or grow or learn anything new or different? You know, like you just want to be the same person you were 15 years ago. So I'm not the same person I was 15 years ago. That's why you guys don't fuck with me. So
Right?
what are y'all still doing that's the exact same as what we did when we were teenagers? That's the interesting thing. Don't worry, none of them are listening to this. So
Hey, you don't know that.
You're going to be popping soon.
don't.
Sam.
Yeah, they'll hate listen and be like, oh my God, did you hear that time she talked about us?
For
We
like
didn't-
8 seconds?
Yeah. Oh my God, she's such a bitch, just like she was in high school.
Oh.
That was my it's everyone's
I
impression.
don't even know what I was like. Ashley, my
Oh,
friend
radio.
Ashley told me I was like, she said I was a little bit of a bully.
Really? You were the bully?
I wasn't a bully though. I
Were you
wasn't
Regina
a bully.
George?
Huh?
Were you Regina George?
Who the fuck is Regina George?
Oh my God, have you never seen Mean Girls?
No.
Whoa. What?
Oh shit.
What?
No, I never saw Mean Girls.
It's so good. It's about like bullies
a
in high
movie,
school.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan.
I never saw
face
that
It's
shit.
pretty
like-
fucking
I
good.
can't get my face right.
Oh,
Tina Fey wrote it, directed it.
I never saw
Amy
it.
Poehler's in it.
I know what it. I think
I
know
think
what
it's
it is.
I think it's
never
more
saw
impressive
it.
that you haven't seen it because it's on TV all the fucking time.
Oh.
Like you have to like.
I don't watch TV like that.
All right.
I like literally. I'm like a musicaholic.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
literally
Mm.
like aggressively listen to music.
What music are you listening to?
I listen to a lot of lo-fi.
Okay.
A lot of lo-fi, like jazz or like just chill ass. Like I like Moonchild, and I listen to Moonchild radio or Sade radio or like Leanne LaHavis radio. Or I'm just like a Spotify-aholic.
I love it too.
I love Spotify.
Yeah, I'm a music. We didn't really talk about, but I'm a music fiend. I love music.
Yeah,
I've seen
nice.
thousands of concerts. Like I've been like I like used to go to music festivals all the time when I was younger. I still do. Now I go. I
Nice.
still do, but not at the same rate as when I was a young 20s. But
Yeah, I used to do. Well, I can't say I was, but like I'm like a deadhead. Like I used to like do that shit a lot. Yeah.
What does that
do
mean?
you know I'm a deadhead?
What does that
No.
mean?
Grateful Dead.
Oh, I know. I'm
Wait,
not
let me show
obviously in
you
this
something.
group.
Show us. You have a tattoo or something? Ah, what do you got?
I don't know if you can see it with these pants.
You can just take them off.
Make my butt look flatter in the camera.
I see Africa. I see a music sign. Oh, I see a Grateful Dead. Oh my God, I love that.
Africa.
Oh my God, I love
Isn't that
that. That is
cool?
so fucking cool. I have never seen that Grateful Dead tattoo.
Yeah, it's
That
just
is
like the lightning bolt in
sick.
Africa.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is sick.
My ex-boyfriend.
You can talk about it.
Pause.
He introduced me to the
Okay.
Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with them.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't listen as much because I think I call it post-traumatic tripping disorder.
Tell us.
So
Definition, please.
it's just like from doing too much acid, you almost give yourself post-traumatic stress disorder. But when
feel
you,
that.
it's from you go through stress when you were tripping, and because a lot of the tripping I don't remember a lot of it, but the stressful parts I do remember. And when I listen to the music, it reminds me of those moments.
Same.
Isn't that weird how your brain like
It's
remembers
fucked up
that?
because I really
Yeah.
fucking love their music, but
Yeah.
it almost takes me through an emotional. Like they were playing live last night, and I listened to them for a little bit, but it's just almost like the tones of the guitar. It just takes you back to like those moments, and that's a time in my life that I don't really want to be remembering.
Yeah. I get that.
Honestly, and I love the Grateful Dead. They fucking changed my life. They changed my perspective on life. Like I love the Grateful Dead, but unfortunately, they have touched my life in a way where I can't really listen to their music so much.
Yeah.
So
I feel that. I really do know, like legit. I mean, I was like a deadhead, like listen to it for years and would go to all the festivals. And, like,
yeah,
same thing with an ex-boyfriend. And
we probably saw each other.
I know we were probably at the same festivals and shit. DSO. Were you there last year? I go to like I've seen like their Dark Star Orchestra, one of their cover bands. I've seen them. I don't know 3 dozen times. Like
Dark Star Orchestra was my first time tripping.
oh my gosh,
It was my first time tripping.
Oh my god, on
And
acid.
on acid.
Nice.
And I was like, what the fuck are all these fucking sounds? How can you make fucking music sound like that?
Yeah. It's cool.
I'm like, how can you like, I remember saying, because they had 2 fucking drummers up there.
Yeah.
And how often do you get to see 2 drummers while you're tripping?
Yeah.
And it was just like fucking magical to my ears.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like not even overwhelmed, but just like taken just by how it sound. I never heard anything sound like that.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Oh my God, who knew you were a secret deadhead?
Uh-huh.
So like, okay, for someone that hasn't, that is not a deadhead.
Yeah.
What's like a song that you would recommend? Like, you know how if someone introduces you to a band, it's like you can hear 1 or 2 songs and you just know if you're gonna vibe with that band usually. Yeah. You know, like if you want to listen to more. So like, what's one song?
It just depends on what type of music you like, because my favorite song by the Grateful Dead, the one that I'll be like, that feels like so fucking gangster, is Viola Lee Blues.
Okay.
And but that's not one I would tell you to listen to if you wanted to get a vibe for who they were. Yeah. I guess like I like Ripple.
Yeah.
Ripple's a good I tell people to just go read the lyrics of Ripple. It's really beautiful, but I don't know. It's almost like because I can't tell you all the fucking words to their songs. It's almost like I have an emotional attachment to them, because every time I have tripped on anything, I have been listening to the Grateful Dead. Yeah. And only once I've been listening to Fish and I had a bad trip.
I was going to ask if they are similar.
Fuck with Fish like that. I do like Fish, but I was like that one trip, and it didn't fuck.
Fish's fault.
I didn't fuck with it right, so I don't fuck with y'all.
If you were at a Grateful Dead show, you wouldn't have had a bad trip.
Probably not.
Obviously.
Probably not. But
as spoken as a true deadhead.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my God, I never would have known. And we'll listen to something in the car. There's, I think when if for people, like a good intro is like sort of what you said, like not. You don't want to play them something live where they're going to be listening to like 20 minutes of jamming. So, because that's kind of what they did.
Is it like Fish?
But my thing is, that's the
Fish
only
is
way
like them,
to listen to Grateful Dead is live. You
right.
can't listen to their. That's
you
not
can't
who
listen
they
to the
are.
studio,
They're recorded.
yeah.
Their studio tracks is not. That's not who they are.
That's what I'm saying. But and I feel like, do you intro someone with the
like,
studio
you got
tracks?
10 minutes?
Yeah. Do you have 30 minutes?
You got like 15 minutes to listen to this song. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Yeah, because when they play live, they do the lyrics, and then they kind of break into this 15-minute jam, and you never know what you're gonna get, and it's a true like jam. And because they were so talented and they played together for so long, like the jam sessions that they had were just unreal. You hear the word, and I think sometimes people think like chaotic music, but that's not what it was at all. It's so organized, and the way that they did it was so beautiful and flowed together so well. I'm sure I butchered all of that music lingo, so I apologize.
No.
I'm no musician, but just a music lover. But
I
was like, did I do okay? But yeah, well, we can definitely listen to some. I feel the same way as you. Is like every time I've seen them, it's been music festivals, concerts. I'm with a bunch of friends. We're in our tie dye, and I was like a little hippie girl, like hula hooping. And
so I'm curious too. Like, so name like another band that you listen to.
Another band?
Like, what's your second favorite band? Both of you. I'm just curious.
I'm like I don't do like favorites with anything.
Or like, what do you listen to a lot?
I think so. That's like music I used to listen to, right? Gotcha. When I was younger. Like I was like when I was a young hippie and I was a teenager and I first discovered marijuana. And I was like, oh my God, have you? Yeah, I was like, oh, this jazz cigarette. And then I was like, have you heard?
A jazz singer?
I'm like, have you heard this band?
Jazz singer, I like that. Oh,
and I was just like lit.
Goddamn jazz singer.
Right? And I was just like lit and just like, listening to the Dead. And I would listen to all that sort of classic rock, Zeppelin and the Doors. And I was obsessed with, I just, took all of that shit in like it was my blood. But now I listen to, like, I feel like I'm one of those people where I listen to a lot of different genres, as I'm sure everyone kind of does. But these days I listen to a lot more like EDM, a lot more hip hop than I used to. So I used to, I started listening to a lot of hip hop when I was a young teenager. Then I went into jam bands as a older teenager. And then I went back into like hip hop, electronica. These days, a lot of my shows that I've been to in like past years have been like EDM festivals.
But is that just so you can like run on Molly all day, or because you genuinely enjoy the music?
That's a good question.
You know?
Yeah, it's a good
Because
question.
Molly makes that music better.
Yeah.
Do you really jam on that, like, when you're not rolling face?
It's a good question.
Right? I mean, let's examine this.
Yeah, that's a good question, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, do you listen to that shit in your car? Like, you get up at, like, 8 a.m., you're, like, pumping EDM?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's, like, some of it is music I would listen to at home, but for the most part, when I hear it at home, I'm like, all right, like, yeah. But if I was at a club, I'd be
You'd
like,
be like, yeah.
You know, and I'd be jamming and rolling all night. Yeah, I think I like going to shows in general.
I miss it.
Yeah, I like going to shows. I like seeing live music. I like, you know, there's something about that energy that you'll never hear from studio recordings. It's just a different energy. And the sound is, the sound you hear in a live show is just never going to be what you hear through a computer or phone or anything. So I love the energy of being at a live show. I love getting dressed up. I love, putting on the whatever like genre of music I'm listening to. Like I'll dress, and not that I'm faking it. I like to wear all this sort of stuff, but I dress for the part. So right. I'm going to the Dead show and I put on my little tie-dye dress. I'm going to the EDM thing and I put on my little like rave booty and I got my fishnets and I got my glitter and I like that's kind of like fun for me as part of it and like going out with friends and stuff. But yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think I would like super jam out hard because I definitely do listen to like I have seen a lot of dubstep shows. I would never listen to dubstep in my house. But like, do I like to dance to it?
I don't like dubstep.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
I'm not sure I know what that is.
I don't know. It kind of got like this like.
Make some beats.
I don't know. I don't want to do it.
I was gonna say it's sort of like do you remember what like AOL used to sound like when you would start up a computer?
What? Like the internet or AOL?
Or the internet.
When it's like ding ding.
Or where it would be like
let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing.
Yeah,
hey,
where
Siri.
What the fuck?
As I spit all over this mic. That you have to sanitize this. Yeah, it's kind of just like a lot of noise and like beat drops.
I hate it already.
A lot of like build up, and I listen to that's like one thing. I listen to a lot of house. I listen to a lot of different.
I like house music.
Yeah,
I love house music.
Yeah, EDM is a big umbrella for all electronic.
Yeah, I like soul house music. I should say.
Yeah,
soulful house music.
Yeah, I fuck with that. Yeah, I think that sort of like loud stuff is kind of like I'll dance to it, but it's not like what I would enjoy in the home. I sort of like a little bit more mellow, a little bit chiller music. And
I will throw on like soul house and the music and be like jamming, cleaning the house with that shit on.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, I definitely love some house music. I'm sort of just I'm like, oh, you want to go to this thing? I'm down. Let's get dressed up and go and party and rave all night and It's just kind of my energy. And now that we don't have it, I'm like, what music do I like? I
haven't really heard any.
Yeah,
I usually listen to like real chill shit.
Yeah.
Like whatever is gonna like chill the mood out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I listen to like meditation music. Like I'll just play that in the house, like in the morning, like if I wake up really early.
That's nice.
But I listen to like lo-fi and like
I fuck with lo-fi.
Just like I got a playlist called like happy. It's like happy hip hop beats.
I like that.
And yeah, I just have like my little playlist that have like cool artists that I like. Yeah. And they just play me random songs, and I know all these songs, but I don't know who these people are.
I get that.
That's what's fucked up, but that's what's weird about the whole playlist thing. Yeah. Is like you don't really like dive into who the artist is. You just know all their songs though. Yeah. So
I do feel like I used to get into artists more than I do now because it is kind of easy to just be like, oh, I like that song. I heard it. I don't even know. I try and like make an effort to go in and like, okay, follow this person if I like their song. And then, but it's hard. I mean, how many people do I follow on Spotify? And like, I follow them because I liked one song, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to sort of get into the artistry. I feel like a little bit more when there is a lot of that content just kind of being given to you as opposed to having to search for it yourself.
Yeah. Where can we find your music?
Yes.
On Spotify, on all the streaming shit, like Amazon, any of that stuff. All the streaming platforms at Fawziyyah Heart.
Nice. Yeah. So anything you're listening to this on currently, you can go to the search and search.
And I have a playlist on my thing. It's a 7-hour playlist.
Ooh, I'm going to listen to it.
It's a playlist that I made when I was going to flying to London.
Nice.
And I wanted, because I don't like flying.
Same.
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Not a fan.
So I made a real chill, a little not like really upbeat, but it's like a grooving.
Xanax beats. Yeah. Been there.
Exactly.
Yep. I'm gonna listen to the. I'm gonna get through the second song, and you're just gonna be like, yeah. I have that soundtrack too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yo, that is so funny.
I can't do it.
That is hilarious.
It's true.
Oh my god.
More people with jokes like that.
I am not a comedian.
I was about to say, you're funnier than me sometimes. I'm just like, yo, what's up? Sam's the funnier one. She's the prettier one and the funnier one.
Oh my
what
god!
the fuck?
Oh my god!
This isn't
Stop!
fair. No.
Stop and keep going.
This isn't fair.
Keep going more and more.
Okay, oh my god, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you're funny. Like,
Oh my
are
God,
you a total
yes,
package?
Yes.
Yes, queen. Okay. Well, now that we're done complimenting, oh my gosh, I feel like we're probably out of time. I'm gonna look at our producer for a time check. Perfect. Okay. Yes, we fucking did it, bitches.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so proud of us.
So what socials are you on? Where can people find
how can
you?
people stalk you?
Okay. Stalking begin. On Instagram, I am at Fawziyyah Heart Music. I also have a podcast.
Yes.
Hey.
What's it called? Tell us.
It's called The Lotus Johns.
Beautiful.
The Lotus Johns, like from Philly, JAWNS or whatever.
Yes.
Where can you can find us on YouTube and on Facebook at The Lotus Johns.
Nice.
And I am at Fawziyyah Heart Music. All my music is on all streaming platforms under Fawziyyah Heart. The EP is called Living Here to Change, and that is FAWZIYYA Heart HEART.
Yes.
I'm so glad you spelled that.
Yeah.
Our listeners are fucking dumb. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
They're all high.
It's a lot.
Yeah, they're
It's a
just
lot.
stoned.
They're stoned.
Yeah.
And if you
Stupid.
forget how to spell it, the real pronunciation is Fawziyyah. So remember the W, FAW. Then it sounds like it's named Fawziyyah.
Yeah. And we're going to link all of your social media.
Yeah, we got you.
Wherever
Okay.
you're listening to this, if you're on Spotify, if you're on YouTube, everything's going to be linked in the description below. So you'll be able to click and find her that way as well.
Thank
We'll
you
make
so
it
much
easy
for
everyone.
having me.
Yes, thank you for
This was so
stopping
much
by.
fun.
This was so much fun. Thank you for joining us.
Also, I
you.
just want you to know that I fully I would love if you could read me a bedtime story with that voice, and also I would love to smoke weed with you in the woods.
Okay.
In the woods? Are we
In
going to
the
murder
woods.
her? What's going on? What's going on?
In
Cool
the
with
woods.
like that.
In the woods? I don't
Don't-
even do the woods.
This
We're
is
both
my
from
fantasy,
Philly.
Sam. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
We gotta be like,
Is it a safe
Around
woods?
a campfire, we can
Okay.
roast some mallows.
but it gotta be near a beach or something. It can't
Yeah.
just be like in
No,
the
I mean
woods.
it'll be like a glamping situation.
Okay, if
Yeah.
it's glamping, I got
Yeah,
you.
no. Do you think I sleep in a tent? No. No. I don't do tents.
Yo, when I used to go to festival, my tents would be like so glammed. Like I got this
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
tent.
I'm like, does it have a door?
Yeah.
No? Okay, then I'm out. No.
Can I stand up full,
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Do I have to
I'm gonna stand
bend?
up.
Is there something between me and a bear that's not a fucking flimsy sheet? No? Okay, then I'm out.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Yeah. I'm like, is there a barrier between me and wild animals? No? Okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
Facts.
Fuck that.
100%.
Yeah, we got cougars and maybe not a cougar. I don't
Yeah.
really know what a cougar looks. Is they the black ones? No, that's a
I don't
panther.
know.
Do we have
Oh,
cougars?
No.
What's a cougar?
Exactly.
I'm a cougar.
I feel
Okay,
it's a big
sorry.
cat of some
I'm so sorry.
sort.
My boyfriend's younger than me. I can say that.
You are a cougar.
I am. He just turned 27, but I like saying when he was 26. Like, I want him to stay 26. You know, I'm like, ooh, don't get older.
My husband's younger than me.
Oh, yes, you're a cougar,
He's
too.
like, but we're the same age for like 3 months out of the year.
Okay. But I love that.
Yeah, it's
I like
funny.
that. I don't know. There's not. I'm totally into it. You know, I used to date only older men. No more. Anyway, that's for another podcast. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us, Fawziyyah Heart. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Woo! Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so appreciative of you. This has been Sam Cap and Sam Dub with Sam We Are.
Sam, how are you, miss? Sam, we are.